Hey all, this past IAE I did the unthinkable, something I said I'd never do. I melted my Vanguard Warden. This was done with the intention of upgrading it to the Corsair, which I've heard so much about. But while on the way scrolling to it, something shiny caught my eye. And that something would be the RSI Scorpius. You see, I've always been interested in the Scorpius, and I missed out while it was first offered last year. While I enjoy Star Wars as much as the next guy, the comparisons to the X-Wing fighter really didn't do anything for me. No, I was interested in the Scorpius in its own right. It's an interesting looking ship, and since it's listed as a heavy fighter, I really wanted to give it a try compared to the other heavy fighter, the Vanguard. I also found in my first few hours of piloting it that it's incredibly fun to fly. So, my question is, as a mainly solo pilot with the only very occasional gunner online, would this ship be enough for me to take down VHRT bounties in PvE like I'm used to with my Warden? I decided to find out, but as a failsafe I purchased 2 CCUs, one for the Corsair and one back to my Warden. I've spent a few weeks with this ship to really give it a run through. Let's see how things fared.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate, go your own way, I won't wait. Chills, enemy down.
Bring the funk back.
So now that you've seen the victories, let me show you how things went most of the time. There goes one of his wings. And there goes wing number 2.
Son of a bitch!
He's pissed with no wings. Surely I've got him now. Okay, so here are my thoughts on the Scorpius. Coming from being a Vanguard main as it were, I was really comparing its performance against that ship. I realize this is somewhat apples to oranges, but given that both are heavy fighters, I think it's a fair comparison that many are going to make. First off, a pro. Obviously the ship looks amazing. While seemingly trivial, this is not unimportant. No one wants to fly an ugly ship, and the fun you have in game, at least for me, is partly derived from flying a ship you enjoy. The X-Wing configuration is a fun addition that always feels badass to deploy when you take off. Secondly, it's an agile ship, and compared to the Vanguard, I really noticed a difference in dogfights. It's a big departure from my usual flights with the Warden in terms of nimbleness, but this nimbleness comes at the cost of both tankiness and half the shielding with one size 2 shield compared to the Warden's 2 size 2 shields. As you could see from the previous clips, I felt this change a lot. The trade-off that you get for nimbleness but losing shielding means the ship relies much more on pilot skill, and if you are, like me, not the versus strongest dogfighter, odds are you're going to feel this in a negative way. The ship really felt more like a medium fighter to me in terms of survivability. If you're looking to get in and do some up-and-close dogfighting, this could be the ship for you, though I still think that something like the Aegis Saber is still the better option. Next, let's talk weaponry. It comes with 4 size 3 hardpoints that can be fixed or gimbaled down to size 2s. The turret is not under pilot control, and it comes with 4 size 3 guns, meaning that only 50% of the ship's damage potential is under the pilot's control. I tried a number of combinations with this, including fixed size 3 repeaters, size 3 laser cannons, and gimbaled size 2 repeater. Whereas as a pilot I prefer fixed options for the harder punch usually, I actually found the gimbaled size 2 repeaters, specifically the FL-22, gave me the best results here. Either way though, when soloing, my TTK went way up no matter what guns I was using. This completely changes when you have a person in the gunnery seat. With someone manning the turret, that's when the ship really started to shine. The TTK went way down and we were able to make short work of both VHRT and HRT bounties with little fuss. This really felt like the best way to fly this ship, and if you have a partner in crime, the extra 50% damage that the turret provides really makes a difference. However, I really wanted to evaluate this for solo use, and in that regard for me it fell short of the mark. I wanted to stress your mileage may vary on this depending on your skill level. It is fun to fly. It flies marvelous in atmosphere and in space. However, the lack of shielding and the increased time to kill that you sacrifice for the agility does not seem worth it to me for solo use. Although I was able to take on VHRT bounties solo, this was a rarity. I spent most of my time waking up in the infirmary and flying back to finish the job. At no time did I ever feel comfortable completing VHRT bounties, and instead found myself targeting HRT bounties most comfortably in this ship. I really wanted to like this ship, I really did. But in the end, I just can't justify it being one that I pay for with real money, as opposed to earning it in-game when 3.18 hits. So my conclusion is that for the solo player, the Vanguard series still comes out on top for me personally. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I know everyone always says it, but if you wouldn't mind giving me a like and subscribe, it would really help me grow this channel, which I hope to do. Also, if you're new to Star Citizen and want to give it a try, I ask that you please consider using this code when you sign up. It's on the screen above. This will give us both some in-game cash, and if you do so before January 10th, 2023, we'll both get a free ship. Either way, thanks for watching all.